If you're a female watching, would you ever go bald like that?
Man, if Naughty Dog gets shut down, that would make my year.
This one comes off as unlikely.
And then they shove those political opinions they have into the content that they're creating.
If I'm gonna play a video game with a female lead, I absolutely want to sexualize the fuck out of her.
They, them, him, her, whatever this thing is, they're already calling it G.I. Jane. What is this shit?
Naughty Dog just dropped a trailer for their new game, Intergalactic, and I love it. I see it as something huge. Crazy graphics, a fresh story, and everything you'd expect from a big name studio. But of course, some people, chronically online individuals, don't like it. So before I start this video, I just want to make it clear that this video is solely for educational purposes. This whole controversy is so deeply rooted in racism and sexism, it's crazy. Like, I could not be more serious. There's a whole community of these channels sharing their unhinged ideas. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it, so here I am. Now, you can have your preferences. I don't care if someone dislikes a game. That is, unless it's for a stupid fucking reason. Most of this drama revolves around the protagonist Jordan. I've been going through this rabbit hole for a while now, and there are two main problems I've seen people have with this game. Jordan's appearance and her ethnicity and identity.
Hey man, listen man, I'm gonna be honest here bro. Here is the most valuable thing to females out there. If you're a female watching, would you ever go bald like that?
This next game starring this fucking creature, what the fuck? They'll never learn, man. This chick looks like Vin Diesel mid-transition, or like a Thai ladyboy on steroids. I mean, what the actual fuck is this character design, dude?
It is complete insanity. Just look at like the design again. It's like very manly arms, a very manly torso.
Okay. Jordan's appearance has made some people upset, because she doesn't look like your typical action game protagonist. She's not a skinny girl with long beautiful hair, nor has a conventionally perfect face, and the obvious thing being her bald head. Now, this is just a stupid take in itself, because attractiveness is subjective. What you might say is unattractive, someone else might find appealing. You may value East Asian features as attractive because you are shaped by your cultural biases that aren't shared by everyone. That's why we mostly see white men complaining about this. They have a cultural bias against anything that isn't their norm. Media has always catered to what white men find attractive over women's and other ethnic groups because of sexism and racism. They're used to seeing characters fitting their image of desirability, and that's why they act like babies when women in their game look realistic rather than a sex doll. Now, over to my main point. Perfection is a characteristic just like imperfection. It can reflect personality, backstory, and overall situation the character finds themselves in. It adds depth and relatability. Jordan is a space bounty hunter. Her muscles, scars, and overall hard look make perfect sense. They're not just there for show, they're a reflection of her life and experiences. Imperfection doesn't equal inferiority. I also want to point out that imperfections and character design doesn't have to be excused with an explanation or justification. Like, why the fuck is Super Mario like 4 feet tall? Did we ever get an explanation for that? Sometimes people just are.
And then they shove those political opinions they have into the content that they're creating.
The main character being a mixed-race, bald, lesbian with tattoos, it isn't really resonating with the gamers.
But can we, like, get a break on these butch lesbians, please? The space lesbians? Wait, how did Star Wars Outlaws sell?
Jordan's ethnicity has also sparked criticism against the game. Now, if you're a normal person, you wouldn't think this is a big deal. Like, why does her race matter so much that people criticize it? I'm still asking that question. People argue that the representation of minorities is forced, and that by playing as an LGBTQ character, the directors are pushing a political agenda, which is just total rubbish. The representation of minorities and women is not political because it reflects the diversity of our real-life society, aiming to tell authentic stories rather than promote any specific political agenda. Representation only feels political to those who are used to being the default. Here's where these people love to bring up the idea of relatability. Because of the fact that the protagonist is a lesbian woman of color, people would allegedly have a hard time connecting with her. Don't get me wrong, connectivity and relatability is important when it comes to liking a character, but this argument is flawed because appearance, ethnicity, gender and sexuality aren't defining traits of a human being, and it also isn't the only traits people connect with. I can prove this by taking any figure from any media that isn't human, a character that neither possesses a human appearance, ethnicity or gender. Take the robot from one of my favorite movies, the Oscar-nominated Robot Dreams. It's a machine with no defining human traits, yet the audience found relatability in its emotions, struggles and decisions. Also, there are multiple traits and characteristics most game characters possess that can't possibly be relatable to anyone playing. Like Joel in The Last of Us, I don't think you have to be a survivor in a post-apocalyptic zombie world to emphasize and reason with his motivations and struggles. They point out differences between women of color and themselves because they genuinely believe they can't connect with them due to their sexist and racist ideology.